All right, now that we're warmed up and we've done our cardio, what's next?
Okay. Next, I'm going to bring this guy into it.
All right.
We're going to get into the core.
Okay.
So with the core, let me say a little something about this. The core is the foundation of the whole body. So if you have a weak core, then you're very injury prone. But if you can strengthen that core, then your ability to stay away from injury and keep yourself healthy is all there for you. So we're going to need our stability ball for this one, right over here. Stability balls are very easy to get. You can get them anywhere. So online, at any store for the most part. All right, so this is how we're going to start. We're going to go into crunches. So I'm going to have Brent take a seat. You're going to be facing this way.
Okay.
Now, on the stability ball, this is why I love it so much for the core, is I can make it, the exercise, as hard or as easy as I want it to. It all depends on where your hips are. So for crunches, if Brett is sitting at the very top of the ball, where he's at, and I have him go into a crunch mode, it's going to really make his muscles work. Can you show me a little bit about what that looks like? Yeah. Down. Shoulder blades come all the way down. He breathes on the way back up, and then all the way back down, and then back up. But if I wanted to make it easier, maybe he's just a beginner, which he's not. I'm going to have him bring his hips further down the ball. Good. So what just happened is his hips went down the ball. More back is supported, making the exercise a little bit easier.
Yeah, you can feel the difference.
Yeah. Okay. Now, here's another very important thing about crunches that no one ever talks about, is when you do a crunch, you don't want to curl your neck into your chest. So show me the wrong way. That's bad. Why? Because you're lifting your body with the neck. Not good.
Yeah, you can feel the strain. Yeah.
So instead, he's going to lift his face up towards the ceiling, which is going to cause his abs to do all the work. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Look where he positions his hands. On the back of on the top of his neck, bottom of his head. Okay? Good. Let's do a few more.
How many am I doing?
You still got, there's a total time of 30 seconds on this. Breathe in. Good. He breathes out. Breathe in. He's pulling from the bottom of his head, top of his neck, face straight up towards the ceiling, not curling in. Give me one more. And relax. Wonderful. Good job.
Whew.
Good job. All right. Now we're going to move on. So I'm going to have him in an upright position. He's going to position himself just below the top of the ball. So let's go ahead and have you do that.
Upright position. Sitting?
Sitting.
Okay.
Okay. So from this position, this is called the Pilates 100. So I'm going to put his abs in a static position. Back, back, back to about 45 degrees. He's going to extend his arms outward. And from this position, I'm going to ask him, do you already feel your abs working?
Yes.
Yes, he does. He hasn't done anything yet. Crazy. So now he's going to start moving his hands, moving his arms in a flutter position. He was already feeling the core before he even started. Now he's moving his hands. And he's wondering when I'm going to stop the exercise because he's already feeling it.
It's amazing. You don't feel like you're doing much, but you feel it in your core. I really feel it right away. It's good.
Super easy to do. And if you need more support, like I said earlier, you just bring your hips further down the ball. If you need less support, you bring your hips further up the ball. Good. This exercise, about 30 seconds, and then we'll call it good. So give me a few more. 2, 3, and relax. Good. So he's going to take a break.
Whew. Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
I like the efficiency of these exercises is fantastic because you feel it right away.
I'm not fooling around here. Okay, so next we're going to go into the side-to-side motion. I call these the bricklayers. So in this position, you're going to go right from where you are, lean back into a 45 degree. Your hands are now up in front in a bent position. Good. Elbows are flared out. So once again, he's in a static position. He's already feeling his core working, right?
Yes, sir.
And he's going to rotate side to side. What's great about this is now I'm working the obliques. I'm still getting the main part of the abdominal region, as well as the erector-spinae, which are the muscles that go all the way down the spine. Very important, especially if you have issues with your spine, you want to strengthen them, okay? And this is a great exercise to do so.
What would you tell people who have some low back pain doing this?
If you have low back pain, you definitely want to take into consideration where you are on the ball. If you feel that low back starting to flare up, just drop your hips further and further down the ball. Once again, another benefit of using the stability ball.
Yeah, so as you go down a little further, now the low back's a little more supported on the ball.
Yeah.
And you can still get the obliques working with the rotation. It is hard to talk and do this at the same time, though, that's for sure.
I'm so glad you're doing it now, Okay, now the last exercise of this whole set is going to be the plank to pike. The plank to pike. So I'm going to bring Brett down to his knees. His elbows are going to be placed on the back of the Bosu, his hands on the top of the Bosu, okay? Now, when I have him start, he's going to lift his hips up off, his knees up off the ground, and his toes are going to be where they are right now. So go ahead and lift. Awesome. So you can see he's in perfect position. His elbows are underneath his shoulder blades. His back is completely straight from the shoulder to the hip to the ankle. You don't want to bulge it up, you don't want to drop it down.
None of that and none of this.
None of that, okay? So this is the plank. Now we're going to do the pike. So the pike is what you just did just a second ago. You're going to go ahead and raise those hips up and then bring it back down. Raise it back up and bring it back down. I just turned a plank position into a dynamic exercise, which means I'm basically moving the muscle. Good.
One thing I think is a good cue for this is to suck that belly button in, because that keeps you from bending at that lower back, which you don't want to do. You want to suck that belly button in to keep that lower back stable.
Brett brought up a very, very important point. It's so easy in a plank position, as good of an exercise as this is, give me a couple more and you can stop before I get into that tangent, is you want to squeeze that core, okay? Some people in this position just go ahead and they end up relaxing the core, and then that's when you see those hips fall or those hips raise. Yeah. But if you really squeeze that core as you're in position and moving, it's going to keep that body exactly how I want it to be. Good. Yeah. And since you're in the moving position, moving up and down from pike to plank, from plank to pike, that's going to keep the dynamic and the blood flowing. Now, if you cannot make it for the full 30 seconds, that's okay. Just drop it to your knees, take some breaths, rest, and then jump up when you can.
That's a great point. I'd much rather see you stop and take a break than see your form suffer, because it's this arching of the back while you're doing these exercises that can really put some strain on your lower back. The core is there to stabilize your body and take the strain away from your lower back. When it fatigues, you can increase the strain on your lower back. So if you're feeling that, that's a great point. Take a time out, take a few breaths, and then go right back at it.
Yeah, and that's why I designed these exercises based off of time and not number. Because if I said, do 50 of those, and you weren't able to do 50, then that doesn't work. But if I say, do 30, but you can only do 10 seconds, it allows you to build up to 30 seconds, okay? So rest when you need to, get back at it when you're able to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So that was a great core section. I'm feeling it. I know you're going to feel it too. And you're going to see how much better you get as you do this over time. Especially in our society today, we kind of tend to take our core out of our system most of the day when we're sitting. So we don't use it as much as we should.
Yeah.
And exercises like this, quick, efficient, it's going to get your core firing, it's going to make you feel it. So I like that.
That's awesome.
All right.